And the two practice sessions that we had earlier today was quickest in one of them, was in the top 5 in the other, and I think that 26 will be one to watch for Anthony Campy Racing. His teammate Stephen Nasse in another Anthony Campy race car for the season opener for the ASA Stars National Tour, also very strong in today's practice session. So those will be two drivers, not surprises there. They were very strong at Cordele for Watermelon Capital Speedway and Speedfest just a few weeks ago as well.
And when you think about the names that are really good at this level, now they're teammates with Anthony Campy Racing, the Team Platinum number 26, as well as the 51 of Stephen Nasse, and all that energy. Nasse has been here since the age of 14 racing super late models. There's a whole lot of attention paid by those two teams, and they're delivering on the speed charts. Right now, their fastest car early on is Cole Butcher, the runner-up in last year's ASA Stars National Tour Series. They, one of 6 Canadian drivers entered in the race of the 50 car, 52 I think it is now, entered for tomorrow night's Clyde Hart Memorial 200.
Stephen Nasse, one of the cars, is rolling to the pits. Butcher fastest. One of the locals, Bobby Good, a longtime track regular here at New Smyrna Speedway, showing second quick in practice. Chase Elliott right now third on the list. Stephen Nasse fourth. William Sawalich in the Kevin Harvick Racing number 62.
That'll be hard to get used to.
Rounding out the top 5.
But it won't take long for him to get up to speed, as the white number 62 of now Kevin Harvick's team does still have the Toyota Camry badging, but William Sawalich is locked in with Kevin Harvick Incorporated as a personal services contract, and now we see Sawalich in this white number 62 making the full run. Kevin Harvick Incorporated this week announcing they're going to go back to full-time stock car racing in late model stocks in the Cars Tour, as well as here in Super Lates with 3 different drivers, including William Sawalich, who arguably is one of the hottest teenagers to keep an eye on for the last 2 years, and this will now be another great year to see this youngster break through before he turns 18. He's got to wait till October to do that.
Talented, very talented. Everything he drives, he's fast, and we'll be watching him for a long time behind the wheel of a race car.
4 ARCA race wins last year. He went out to the Phoenix finale, won the ARCA West finale. He also won the ARCA East Series. He won the championship in the East Series. Not able to race all the ARCA races, but he also made 6 truck race starts last year. So, yeah, you're going to hear that name more often out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
So, folks, getting a chance to watch some bonus coverage, practice, an optional practice day on this Monday evening at New Smyrna Speedway as part of the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. Folks are tuning in on our social media channels right now, Jim. This gives them a chance to look at this amazing field of super late models for the season opener for the ASA Stars National Tour, the Southern Super Series, the second race for the ASA Southern Super Series, and, of course, the track point championship is well included for the World Series this week, over 50 entries. And if you want to tune in tomorrow night and catch all of the coverage, tracktv.com, subscription-based service this year, has 5 different racing series that you can catch all of the action for $29.99 a month throughout the summer, or you can get the discount for the year for $299. 5 racing series includes all of the ASA Stars National Tour, the ASA CRA Super Series, the Southern Super Series, the Midwest Tour, and the Big 8 Series. Around 40 live events, no additional cost for pay-per-view. It's subscription-based, $29.99 a month. Get it, watch tomorrow night's race, watch all of the events for those 5 series throughout the summer months.
And we want to see you at the track. We want you to experience this, but that also, with that subscription, gets you re-airs. You can watch it on demand anytime you want to watch it, even including last year's races you can watch on tracktv.com.
Jake Finch in the 51 car was on track. He very fast earlier in today's practice session, was on top of the chart for a while. Right now in this final practice session for a Monday evening, showing as 4th quick out of the 19. Now make it, we've had more than that. 26 have been on track already.
We're going to have, I think, a whole lot of cars cycle through summer, probably waiting for some clear track time. We see Bubba Pollard now getting up to speed. He just hit the track for the first time in his Phoenix Construction. Same sponsor. That's Jake's dad. James' sponsorship has been on Bubba's car, as well as running with Jake. And that entire team that really worked well with James Finch owning an ARCA winning car at Daytona, owning an Xfinity car, owning a Cup Series car. A lot of those team members are still with Jake Finch, the 18-year-old now out of Lynn Haven, Florida. One of the 14 Floridians signed up for this race.
Getting a chance to watch Bubba Pollard make his way around the racetrack. Bubba Pollard trying to lay down some decent laps. Has been really working hard the first 2 nights of the World Series to get that car fine-tuned. So strong at Watermelon Capital Speedway with Speedfest, but he wants to have a big start to the ASA Stars National Tour. Will be one of the weekly competitors for that 10-race series.
2 drivers that are going to be in contention, it appears, in 2024 are on track now. Bubba Pollard, and getting the feel of things, the defending series champion, Ty Majeski, the NASCAR Truck Series start of Neenah, Wisconsin, in the black number 91 Kafka Granite car, chasing and shadowing Bubba Pollard down the backstretch. And those two have had some great battles together.
And both of those drivers are World Series champions here at New Smyrna in super late model competition. And Ty Majeski, just like that, jumps up to number 2 on the speed chart and takes it to the pits. Bubba Pollard 8th in speed right now. It's Cole Butcher fastest, Ty Majeski second quick, Ty Fredrickson third, Timothy Watson 4th, Jake Finch 5th. And Chase Elliott, Bobby Good, Bubba Pollard, Michael Goddard running very well in the Kaufman Motorsports number 58 in the top 10 right now. And Stephen Nasse is in the 10th spot.
I'm Jim Trado. Adam Mackey, you've been here as a member of the team on Public Address, a member of the streaming service. Flow Racing's had a great coverage all week long. You've been doing this for quite a while, these 15 years. What's the feel here? Doubling the number of laps, making the Clyde Everett Memorial now part of the ASA Stars National Tour during Speed Weeks here at New Smyrna.
It was a good feel last year being a Southern Super Series race during the World Series. Had a good car count, had a great crowd. This just steps it up a little bit more. This series race tomorrow night, the entry list very similar to a snowball derby, and there's not many races that can say that.
I will go on record now saying it's equal to a snowball derby field based upon the car count, based upon the drivers from across 19 different states, 6 drivers from Canada. We're talking about everybody who's got a chance to get their car ready for this is here this weekend. A lot of new names that are making their ASA Stars National Tour debut.
Michael Goddard, outstanding so far. Mentioned he was inside the top 10, was atop the chart in one of the sessions earlier before being bumped down a little bit when some drivers did some sticker runs.
And I do want to talk about the catching fire during the Speed Weeks run. There's 6 races in a very short span, Adam. Over the course of time, Goddard's done really well this year. As many races as he's run, when he gets a good piece in a good field, you've seen that catch fire moment several times over the course of pro late model, super late models, and other forms of racing here during the Speed Week. So it really is cool to see Goddard get that speed early in the week already.
There's a look at the pits. The pit road area busy right now. Final adjustments, final chances to make these cars better on a Monday, so you don't have to work so hard on Tuesday to try to get in the top 20 in qualifying. Going to take the top 20 qualifiers, lock them into the show. 4 will come from the last chance race. What a crazy race that's going to be just after 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And then,
do the math. Over 25 cars in the last chance race for 4 spots.
And then 2 provisionals from the ASA Stars National Tour points from last year and 2 provisionals for the Southern Super Series as well. We're watching Derek Kraus in the 9. Derek Kraus, a regular with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And he's had a pretty fast race car here in the last couple of nights.
Yeah, Kraus, this is a family team. And in reality, I remember seeing him in the gift shop along the beach when he was 14 years of age, making his initial foray into racing during Speed Weeks in a super late model. He's made the last 8 snowball derbies. He's been doing this a long time. So you talk about the 3 seasons he had in the Truck Series, predated by the NASCAR, now ARCA Menard Series West Championship run in 2019. Kraus has been doing this for quite a while. Good to see his family dedicated to this. They raced already this year in a super late model. They're back down here during World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing again. So Derek Kraus, another star in the field. This is Ty Majeski. Majeski actually toured Derek Kraus back in the day when Derek was racing go-karts. Ty was up to the late model level. When Derek got to the late models, so did Ty Majeski. Kind of helped him through it. So they've been great friends. They actually been roommates. When Kraus got his nod to go NASCAR racing in the Truck Series, he actually lived in Ty Majeski's house for several years in Charlotte as a paying renter. Those guys go back a long way, and their families do a lot together as well. So that's the Wisconsin connection. I guess I shouldn't brag on it because I live there, but I'm just saying. It's kind of cool to see how that tie.
Hey, there's some pretty good racers that come from that area. You should be pretty proud of the racers that come from the ASA Midwest Tour area.
Yep. And ASA, that was a big stronghold. That was a big deal to race the Milwaukee Mile, which these stars will do again this year. It was a big deal to race at Madison International Speedway back in the day. I remember Mark Martin winning the ASA Capital 300 across the rear quarter panel of his Ford Thunderbird back in the mid-'80s, promoting races there. We're going back there as well on a doubleheader weekend in June with the ASA Stars, June 14 and 16, in the lone visit to the Badger State on the same weekend. It's going to be cool.
23 of Farrington heading to the pits. One of the drivers from Maine making the long trip to Florida.
Former Kowicki driver development runner-up actually in 2016 to Alex Prunty out of Wisconsin. Farrington, good to see him here racing against the best of the best here tonight. And tomorrow night, the 200-lapper, you can see it live on tracktv.com, the official home of the ASA Stars National Tour. Subscribe now. You get it all. You get automatic access to the archives as well.
Yeah, the archives include the Midwest Tour from the last 3 years. Last year's ASA Stars National Tour races, so plenty of archive action you can catch as well. Daniel Webster, one of the Floridians on track right now. And Daniel Webster looking to make the start tomorrow night. Brooksville, Florida driver, talented racer. See where he's at on the speed chart. Looking down to the 26th position, so just outside that top 20.
And this is a good practice for us as well. As you're watching it free, you're going to maybe hear us say a few things that may not be absolutely 100% correct because there's duplicate numbers. 14 different duplicate numbers in the field. They get to keep their duplicate numbers. Back in the day, I remember watching the All-American 400 on American Sports Cavalcade. Dick Schrickle would have to run a 90 instead of a 99 because somebody had a 99 that was in points ahead of him, depending on who the host series was. No, we let them run dupe numbers here. So we'll keep that square for you as well. Tommy Catalano out of New York on track in his super late model.
Cody
Plans running the
Crucker.
full Wheeling Modified Tour this year.
Cody Crucker right ahead of Catalano there.
Cody's been here in a Florida Pro Truck. It's been a great proving ground for several Florida drivers, including Joey Coulter, Joey Logano back in the day. Matt Martin, I remember watching him race at Lakeland in a Florida Pro Truck. So a lot of good pavement circle track racers have come through there, including Cody Crucker.
Matt Martin did so in the Pro Trucks when we've had Speed Fest back in the day, the early to mid 2000s
in Lakeland,
when Speed Fest began at USA International Speedway. Matt Martin was competing, and at that point he was a young man, and my brother, I remember him walking through the pits and he saw Matt Martin sitting on his mom's lap before he went out on the track in his truck. There's Matt Craig in the 54, talented racer from North Carolina. Matt Craig expected to be one of the favorites in tomorrow night's race.
He's won the Southern Super Series title. He's won the Cars Super Late Model title. He's won the past 3 times, I think it is, past Super Late Model Championship. And I think
All-American 400.
A breakthrough win for him. I was just getting to that. That was a huge deal for him, knowing how fast he's been at National Fairgrounds Speedway. That will cap off the season in 2024 for the ASA Stars National Tour. Their first weekend in November again. So we're looking forward to seeing the entire schedule. StarsNationalTour.com is the website. Hope you're enjoying this and like our Facebook page now because you'll get all the updates. And we had a great push for this event with a lot of information about a lot of different drivers, including Matt Craig racing here tonight. It's a big deal to have that family out of North Carolina racing with us again.
So this practice session, final practice of 3 that they've had today for the ASA Stars National Tour. Now at the 7 o'clock mark Eastern time.
15 more minutes, that's it.
7:30 tonight.
Good.
Check out Flow Racing for all of the live coverage of night number 4 of the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing 602 Modifieds, running 25 laps tonight. The Tour Type Modified 50-lapper for their second race for many of those drivers this week. The Pro Late models running 35 laps. Good shows so far for the Pro Lates and the Florida Mods, 25 laps. There you see the working on some of the cars. Some of them, like Ty Majeski's, not a lot of work going on because I think they're pretty satisfied for what they have on a Monday.
We did have 2 practice sessions. It was in the 80-degree temperature range, 85-ish. It's still pretty warm out right now. It's in the high 70s right now. And it felt like it might have been wanting to rain about half an hour ago during modified qualifying for the Tour Type Modifieds. That's gone away. The winds picked up, the temperature's down a little bit, but this matches tomorrow night's conditions. This is the most important time. So if Majeski is going to make 1 or 2 runs, he's fine-tuning for what he wants to feel in that race car under the lights tomorrow night here at New Smyrna Speedway.
The top 5, the first 3, not really surprises. Cole Butcher, second in ASA Stars National points, his quickest in practice right now as we watch Gabe Summers make his way around New Smyrna Speedway. Plenty of experience here for the young man from the upper Midwest. Ty Majeski, second quick. Bubba Pollard third. That's good speed for that 26. Maybe they've found a little more speed for the big event tomorrow night. Brent Cruz, what a week he's had so far. A couple second place finishes for the 24 in the Wilson Motorsports team. And rounding out the top 5, Ty Fredrickson right now. The son of Dan Fredrickson has laid down a pretty good lap in practice.
I got to see Ty, who's 14 years of age. I got to see Ty race his first 2 ASA sanctioned races. It was a Midwest Tour race called the Oktoberfest 200. I also saw him got to race at the Dells Raceway Park in the Jim Sauter Classic. And I'm telling you, that kid was on it. He was top 5 at the Dells in the finish order. He's running really well at Oktoberfest. Hadn't had an issue, but man, that kid's got a load of talent. And Danny's here. Danny's been here many times to kind of tutor his son through this, and it's been great to see that family connection out of Minnesota coming forth. So Ty Fredrickson 5th in time. I'm happily impressed by that because that says a lot. Brent Cruz, teenager. They're following. They're learning quickly. You mentioned the top 5 the other night. I think the oldest driver is 19 of the top 5 finishers in night 1 in the Supers here at the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing.
Cole Butcher, saw him laying down some more laps. He's still number 1 on the speed chart. His best lap was his 4th, so that was an earlier run during this practice session. Down to the final 13 minutes or so of final practice for A Monday evening. Taking a look at the schedule tomorrow, Jim, what do we have in store for the ASA Stars National Tour on Tuesday?
It's going to start early, actually. As we mentioned, there's been a long day of practice today. The teams are all in. The drivers' meeting is at 1 o'clock. Then we go pre-qualifying tech at 2. Qualifying to set the field for the first 20 starters in the Clyde Hart Memorial 200 is at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. This is Eastern time now. Pole qualifying at 4:30. Last chance qualifying race at 6 p.m. Our streaming coverage will start at 6 p.m. on tracktv.com, the official home of the ASA Midwest Tour. And I believe the time's been moved up to carry the flow coverage at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow as well.
Good stuff from New Smyrna Speedway. Had the first 3 nights completed with great weather. Tonight there was a slight chance of a shower later. Some of those chances, I think, were kind of being eliminated from the forecast. Looks like we're going to see a lot of racing tonight as a little bit of a cool front moving in on the west side of Florida and coming across the state, maybe bringing some moisture late tonight. But tomorrow's forecast looks beautiful, a little bit cooler, but still nice conditions, close to 70 degrees for the Clyde Hart Memorial for the ASA Stars National Tour and Southern Super Series.
Got an update for you. The cars that have yet to see the racetrack: Chris Wright for Donnie Wilson Racing, Gio Ruggiero from Donnie Wilson Racing, not making a lap yet. Connor Jones also has not gotten off of pit road in his number 44 car, nor has Steve Weaver. Weaver, a late addition today, has raced the World Series of asphalt stock car racing before.
Brad May as well.
And we also know that Caden Quapple, yes, Caden Quapple, the pro late model champion from last year in the Cars Tour, he's here in Archie St. Hilaire's car. They had a motor issue. They brought that car to the pit road just moments ago. They've got 4 laps of practice in, so that's their first laps on the track today for the Archie St. Hilaire-led team for Caden Quapple, the 17-year-old.
Engine change earlier.
Big time. Just got it done in time to get some laps in tonight.
That's big. Definitely want to get some laps in today if possible. Looking at the top 10, the top 5 remains unchanged. Timothy Watson, a champion in the Outlaw Sportsman division at Five Flags Speedway, 6th quick in practice right now. That's pretty impressive.
I think it comes down to him getting his sampling. He's been the last couple of years doing this, focused on his Outlaw late model Sportsman, but he also has been really well in picking those moments, picking a race. Maybe it's, I got to get my car ready. If I'm not ready for that one, I'm going to be ready for the next one. And I think Timothy's just got pure speed, and we saw it earlier this year in the ASA Stars National Tour, actually last year now, because this is 2024 already. But it was a matter of sustaining that speed. So it's good to see Timothy out of the box, getting that comfort, knowing that it may not just be about practicing the entire night tonight or the entire day today for a qualifying run to get in the show.
Gio Ruggiero, Connor Jones, 2 of those you mentioned moments ago that haven't hit the track yet. They're waiting for a good spot to get on the racetrack and do a qualifying run.
On the outside line there, that's Ruggiero coming off the pit road. It's a great look.
The inside lane, Brent Cruz was out by the wall. Brent has that little bit of smoke coming out the exhaust. It was like that last night, but it's pretty fast. I think he's fine.
Connor Jones is the next one to come out, but the 2 Donnie Wilson Racing teammates got to leave together. Ruggiero, the winner of last year's All-American, last year he won the Winchester 400. And Gio is on the track to do just that. He's going to race a bunch more in the ASA Stars National Tour this year. Already committed, as well as Cole Butcher as a full-time driver. Brent Cruz, whatever he commits to, he wins in.
Yeah.
The Trans Am TA2 series is one of the most competitive road racing series in America. He only won half the races this past year, half of the 13 races, and went on to win the championship at his tender age. And I'm telling you, Brent Cruz, he's something special. He's been here in a pro late model, seen him here in a super. Certainly is something that's going to be called, I was here when I saw Brent Cruz take laps at New Smyrna Speedway. A lot of positives ahead for that young man.
Watching a preview of the final practice on a Monday night from New Smyrna Speedway for the ASA Stars National Tour. Their season opener coming up on Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, right here from the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. Giving you this preview to let you know how you can watch it tomorrow night and the rest of the season, this 10-race series on tracktv.com. Check it out. 5 racing series, 1 site, the Stars National Tour, CRA, Southern Super Series, Big 8, all on in the Midwest Tour, all on tracktv.com. It's going to be over 40 races throughout the course of the year with a lot of marquee events.
And spread the word. If you've already been subscribing to MidwestTour.tv, you're in. You're good. Just renew that subscription because you'll get all the Track TV content. TrackTV.com content is now and forever will be carried on MidwestTour.tv for no additional fees. So if you already have a MidwestTour.tv subscription, you're good to go.
They have to be thrilled.
Oh, man.
If you had a subscription to the Midwest Tour and you were getting the Midwest Tour coverage.
Yep.
Now you get all these other series as well.
Yep.
But it's on tracktv.com.
No pay-per-views, no additional costs. $29.99 a month. Let's do this. That's less than the gas and the admission to get into any racetrack.
For one race.
Yep.
62, William Sawalich back on track, looking for a little more speed. William right now 17th on the speed chart. He's turned 41 laps on the racetrack in this session.
I thought Chase Elliott was leading the pack on laps completed.
He might not be the fastest car on track, but he's going to win the race for practice. 41 laps he's turned. Derek Kelly next on the list at 33.
Chase Elliott officially that had 16 laps in early in the session, has not come back out. I think he did 2 runs thus far. Yes, the same Chase Elliott that has raced to the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series Championship, but back home with Ricky Turner here. Racing in the super late models again in 2024 at select events. He's rolling back out for one more run as we continue in these final moments of practice for the super late models, competing in tomorrow night's Clyde Hart Memorial 200. You can catch all the action starting at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow with our last chance qualifier. That's going to lock in the remainder of the field. Top and 20 in qualifying tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. Follow along on our socials for that. We're going live at 6 p.m. Eastern time on tracktv.com, the official home of the ASA Stars National Tour.
Billy Van Meter in the 23 from Indianapolis, Indiana, making his run during this practice session. Backs are down. Van Meter was one of the busiest super late model drivers in the country last year. Ran the Stars Tour, ran Southern Super Series, ran CRA. He's taking it to the pits right now.
One eye on the track, one eye on the stopwatch. Bubba Pollard is rolling on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to look for a clear spot to get a good run. He's had the 3rd fastest speed thus far. Powered up to speed at the start-finish line here in a little while. I'm telling you, that white number 26, he's going to be looking for maybe a nice lap or so. We'll see as we want to get as much coverage as we can, showing your favorite driver here during this practice session. It's Cody Crucker in the black number 27, building up a sweat in the no sweat machine. James Lynch is also in track from Illinois, making his debut in the ASA Stars National Tour. Finished 10th here last year in the Clyde Hart Memorial 100 with Bobby Blount, and everybody that was part of that deal said, let's do this bigger and better in 2024. Good to see James Lynch, a Midwest Truck Series star, making the move here to run the 200-lapper tomorrow night.
Bubba Pollard car right down on the racetrack. As he went through the corners, could see a few sparks flying off there before the pressures build back up. Bubba Pollard showing still 3rd, did not better his lap that he had earlier. He's only turned 10 laps during this practice session. Cole Butcher still on top with Majeski, Pollard, Cruz, and Fredrickson. They've been the top 5 for quite a while.
I just love the whole idea that we are watching what we're watching. That we finally, the wait is over. This is the big deal. This is the big time to come here to New Smyrna Speedway to start the season right. We're doing it here. The next race is not until March 23rd. It's a big weekend, March 23rd, 24th at Five Flags Speedway with the ARCA Menard Series East on Saturday, and the big 200-lapper on Sunday at New Smyrna Speedway. At Volusia. No, what am I saying? Volusia, New Smyrna, they're in Florida. No, Five Flags Speedway, Pensacola.
There you go.
That's where we're going next. I was getting there. You
go to a lot of racetracks even this early in the year.
Man. Can you tell I'm excited? Can you tell?
That weekend's going to be even bigger than that, Jim. You mentioned the 23rd and 24th, but the season opener for the actual racing at the track has 3 local divisions on Friday night, March 22nd. So a 3-day weekend. Get out to Five Flags Speedway. Tickets available on the website at fiveflagspeedway.com.
And that's the 2nd race of the Southern Super Series season as well. This is the first tomorrow night. So we have the Southern Super Series, the ASA Stars National Tour. They're all racing for points in those respective divisions, as well as the David Rogers super late models that run here for a weekly championship this week, and special events throughout the season make up the super late model schedule. So it's kind of cool to see them combined here, earning points as well. That's Chase Elliott coming to pit road. Did he improve his time?
Nope.
11th fastest, but he got in a lot more laps. He got in 15 more laps here.
Chase Elliott has fallen outside of the top 10. He's currently 11th. Again, tomorrow afternoon's qualifying will lock in the top 20. Then we'll take 4 from a last chance race, which is going to be a crazy event at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Then we're going to add 4 more provisionals for a starting field of 28. Not saying that, you know, we might see a couple more additional starters in that field, but you got to be prepared for it to be only 28 cars in that 200-lap race.
And we're going to go in the weeds a little bit with you here, because this is the 3rd practice of the weekend, the 3rd practice of the day. The other 2 were in the afternoon. I'm guessing that the mock runs, you expect maybe the times late in the session might drop. I'm suggesting these are small changes for race runs that we're going to see. So we might have seen the fastest times thus far. But in reality, these teams are figuring out, okay, I've only got 4 new tires in the pits during the race tomorrow. 200-lapper here. This track is abrasive. So get those 4 tires changed at the proper time. Also, they have 4 tires they can use as an emergency set. That might have been their mock run from earlier today. They want to know what these tires in the car now feel like. These tires likely won't be used again the entire weekend, so let's get some laps in. Let's make some changes, get the feel of what under the lights here, what the car will feel after 20, 30, 40 laps run and a couple of heat cycles on these Hoosier tires.
51 of Stephen Nasse back on track.
Got one in the
car
wall.
Was very good, and
got one in the wall in turn 4.
17 of Danny Knoll. Up in turn number 4 against the outside wall. Stephen Nasse, he has just come out, I think, to probably make a mock qualifying run. Had been sitting on pit road for quite a while, so not good timing for this yellow flag. But the 17 of Danny Knoll up against the wall brings out the first yellow during this practice session. This could be very well the end of this practice session. Looks like a very hard hit for the 17. Driver moving around in behind the wheel. Good news there, but bad news for that 17, one of the nightly competitors during the World Series.
Yeah, out of Buffalo, New York, one of the 2 drivers from the Empire State. Looks like he might have touched the wall in turn 3 and rode it out to hitting in turn 4. Just a shame there. Well, the yellow flag remains out. We want to get these guys and gals as much practice time as promised here this evening. There's a lot of racing yet to come here tonight on Flow Racing, Adam. So if you're into this and you got it going on and you're like me, you got a Flow Racing subscription, like, hey, 7:30, let's flip on over. We're going to get some really good racing in tonight. Race night number 4 or 5 already this week.
Number 4.
All right.
Tomorrow night's the midpoint.
Okay.
So this is night 4 here this evening, and 602 modifies. We get things started at 7:30, and the checkered flag is now officially waving.
Okay.
So that will end this practice session. But 602 mods, Tour type modifieds, Pro late models, and Florida mods all in action tonight, starting at 7:30 Eastern time on Flow Racing. So check it out. Want to thank everybody for checking out our bonus coverage, a little free view on our social media channels for the ASA Stars National Tour season opener, which comes up tomorrow on tracktv.com and all of our ASA channels. So we're moments away from starting the racing program over on Flow Racing. Thanks again for checking it out, Jim. We got to see some pretty good practice there.
It's going to be exciting. Again, things start tomorrow in a big way. TrackTV.com, the official home of the ASA Stars National Tour, has it all for you. Flow Racing will cover the entire run of the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing here. In moments, it'll continue, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Again, check our social channels, and we're on at 6, pass the word, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, starting the last chance qualifier for the Clyde Hart Memorial 200 tomorrow night. On behalf of Adam Mackey, Jim Trado, and our entire crew, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow.